Guys, welcome back. My name is Kern. This is Home Recording Weekly. I just did a video for the EQ 73. If you watched that, this is part 2. Basically, we are going to do the EQ 81. Yet another amazing British console EQ that they have modeled and brought to life for you, for I, and it sounds awesome. This is a different monster. It's not entirely completely revolutionary in that it's different than the 71. There's a lot more bells and whistles, and it's a lot more finite, but it basically does the same things, but they're different, you know what I mean? And what more can I say about it? I'm going to play it on a track and then talk you through, but let's start with a basic rundown of what all T-Rex modules, plugins come with. Number one, you don't need a dongle. You don't need an iLock. You can simply buy it and it's yours and it works and it's a beautiful thing. I know people that hate the iLock and hate dongles because, you bought it. You should be able to use it when you want to, no problem. And that's what this is. Like all T-Rex modules, this has a left and right mode and a mid-side mode. Left and right, basically, you can work on your left channel and your right channel independently, or you can work on both of them. If you put it mid-side, you can play with things in only the middle, the mono section, like vocals, kick, drum, bass, or you can put it on the S, which stands for side, and everything panned left and right gets, played with, gets EQ'd, and the center channel stays the same. That's incredible, crazy technology built in and yours, just for buying it. Also, there's a phase reverse, a polarity over here. If a track is sounding thin, you can always check the reverse and maybe it'll sound better. Again, that's a bonus. A lot of plugins will have that now, but these all have it, and take advantage. Even if you just buy one T-Rex module, all of that stuff is included, and how much is that worth? Their compressors are amazing, out of this world, and I use this stuff all the time. I'm not just showing you this because I got a good deal on it or something like that. I use T-Rex stuff every time I mix, every time I master, and just to prove it, look, there's a limiter over here. I've got EQs and compressors all around these tracks. And again, I made this video just for you guys, but just know all this stuff is all over here, and I love it. I love T-Rex. Okay, the 81 differs from the 73 in a few different ways. You'll see these buttons here. We're going to talk about those. And over here we have our high pass, which, if you know me, I love those. And there's also a low pass. It's the exact opposite, and I use those too. I mean, if you have too much high-end information, like on a bass track or maybe a kick drum, you don't want all that air in there, you can remove it with a high pass. And I did that. I have a regular EQ over here, and I used it to show you that I do use high pass filters and I use low pass. That's on the bass in the song. So let's go ahead and listen to what we've got here. I'll take everything out of solo, and I'll play what we have, what we're listening to. Just a song I made real quick just for this demo. And now I want to go ahead and solo the tracks that we are going to work on. First thing I want to do is get some of that mud out of there. I'm going to take this out of bypass, and I'm going to apply the high pass filter of this incredibly easy EQ. Because these are modeled from very famous consoles, everything is notched. They have done the work. They know where it is you want these things to be, so they have them notched. It just makes doing quick fixes so much quicker. So let's turn it on and roll up our high pass filter and figure out where we want that to be. I still hear some low end, but I don't want to take it all out right off the top. I think I want to do some notching. So we'll roll off everything below 47 hertz and we'll get to notching. Now over here you see this symbol and this symbol way over here to the right. This is the low, this is the high frequency information. This is low, this is mid, this is higher mid, and this is all of the treble. So this here is like a shelving filter, and this is a shelving filter. If you push this button, it becomes more like a bell. So instead of boosting or cutting everything below wherever you select it, with a bell, you're doing a little bit on both sides of that notched frequency and nothing else. If I undo the button, then everything below where we have this notch is going to get the business. So I'm going to have this in notched mode for the low end because I've already done the high pass filter. And I'm going to basically turn this up and find the frequencies that are bothering me and then come back once I found them and take them out. So let's go ahead and do that and see what it sounds like. That sounds so much better already. And you see how fast that went. I turned up the gain, I went through the presets, the notches here, and found out the most common area, and these are my words, with thousands and thousands of tracks run through these things, they know where to put these notch filters when they make a new board. Every kind of track that you run has different frequencies. Anyway, they did it. It was simple and it was awesome. Now we have notch filters here. The mids, the high mids, it doesn't make any sense to do any other kind of filter except for a notch filter. You don't need to remove, everything below because we've already done that twice. So they're notch filters. And if you need a sharper notch filter, then you can engage the high Q buttons and that's what it will be. Or without them engaged, they're pretty broad. So let's listen to what we have and see what we want to do if we want to boost or we want to cut anything. There is a mid-range frequency that's kind of making my fillings vibrate. I don't like it. It's above the low, but it's there. So let's try to find that, and I'm going to remove just a little bit of it because it's making the room sound annoying is what it's doing. So I turned it up here, and I'm going to sweep through and find it. It's not really low. It's kind of high. It might be over here somewhere, but let's check it out. And there you go. It was at 560 hertz, and I tried a broad, but it made it sound kind of thin, so I tightened up our notch filter by pressing the high Q, and it actually made it sound a little bit less thin, a little thicker, so I like that. Now let's see what we have. It sounds good. I like it exactly where it is, but we need some high end on there. We need some air. If I close my eyes, I can tell it's recorded. It's not like we're standing in the room with it. So that's where this comes in over here. This is my high band. And as you can see, there's a bell curve, or you can have a shelving filter. So everything, including the notch that we select, the frequency, and everything above it is going to get turned up or turned down over here. So as you can tell, I'm going to turn it up and I'm going to sweep through and find the area that I like. And everything above that is going to get turned up. These are a wonderful tool if you use them sparingly. If you put air on every single track, it builds up quickly. Be warned in advance. It sounds great, but it's an additive effect and it can be very dangerous. Everything from 4.7 kilohertz up gets a gentle boost, and that's how we do it. Now, because we did some cuts, because we did some boosts, our original signal may be louder or quieter, and that's where these buttons here come in. We can turn it up or we can turn it down, our input. If it's not, we can bring this EQ in on a track. If it's too quiet, we can simply turn it up and then do nothing else to it. It's going to sound better because they actually have the harmonic richness of this EQ embedded or modeled in this plugin. But we can also do the output louder or quieter. So let's say if we're louder or quieter. It's hard to tell because it sounds so radically different, but we are quieter, which is what I hoped. I'm going to bring this up because I think it adds, I hate to say warmth because it's all digital, but it adds a great sound. And if it's too loud, I'm going to bring the output down a little bit. And there you have it, the 81 and the 73, two brand new EQs from IK Multimedia. I think they sound fantastic, and I just want to do a quick bypass for you guys, a before and after, and I'm going to bring everything in. I'm going to stop talking and let you guys hear it.